If you're shopping in the premium luxury segment and you're torn between the Audi Q5, the Audi SQ5, and the Mercedes-Benz CLA, you're not just choosing between three cars. You're choosing between three completely different personalities. And that's exactly what makes this comparison so interesting. On paper, they all wear prestigious German badges. They all promise luxury, technology, and performance. And they all look like they belong in a millionaire's driveway. But once you really break them down, they appeal to three very different kinds of buyers. The Audi Q5 is the polished, mature, and highly practical luxury SUV. It's designed for people who want everyday comfort, premium design, advanced technology, and the confidence of all-wheel drive in a package that feels refined without trying too hard. The Audi SQ5 takes that same formula and injects it with adrenaline. It's for the driver who wants the comfort and usefulness of an SUV but also wants to feel a little thrill every time they hit the accelerator. Then there's the Mercedes-Benz CLA, which approaches luxury from a different angle. It's lower, sleeker, more fashion-forward, and more urban in character. It's not trying to be a family SUV. It's trying to look expensive, feel modern, and turn heads while still offering enough practicality for daily life. So if you're asking which one is best, the truth is simple. It depends entirely on what kind of lifestyle you live and what kind of feeling you want every time you get behind the wheel. Let's start with design because this is where first impressions are made. And these three cars couldn't be more different. The Audi Q5 looks exactly like what you'd expect from Audi. Clean, sophisticated, tasteful, and elegant. It doesn't scream for attention, but it absolutely looks premium. The lines are sharp, the proportions are balanced, and it has that understated executive presence that Audi does so well. It's the kind of SUV that looks just as appropriate outside a luxury hotel as it does parked in your driveway. The SQ5 takes that same handsome body and turns up the aggression. It looks meaner, more muscular, and more athletic. The grille is bolder, the wheels are larger, the stance is lower and more purposeful. And there's an unmistakable performance attitude to it. It's still classy, but now it has a little edge. It's like the Q5 went to the gym, got a sharper suit, and decided it was done being the quiet one in the room. Then comes the Mercedes-Benz CLA, and this is where the vibe changes completely. The CLA is not an SUV at all. It's a sleek compact luxury sedan with a coupe-inspired roofline, and that gives it a very different kind of appeal. It's dramatic, stylish, and youthful. It has a low, flowing silhouette that looks sporty even when standing still. If the Audi Q5 is the successful professional and the SQ5 is the athletic executive, the CLA is the trendsetter who always arrives looking expensive. It's arguably the most eye-catching of the three, especially for younger buyers who care as much about image as they do about engineering. Mercedes has clearly designed the CLA to attract people who want luxury to feel glamorous, not just practical. Inside the cabin, all three vehicles deliver premium experiences, but again, in different ways. Audi's interior philosophy is all about clean design, subtle sophistication, and technology integrated in a calm, almost architectural way. The Q5's cabin feels modern and upscale with sharp screens, quality materials, and a layout that looks high-tech without becoming chaotic. Recent Q5 models have emphasized a digital-heavy experience with updated infotainment and improved controls, while still maintaining the brand's minimalist identity. Reviewers note the Q5's strong comfort, roomy feel, and tech-rich cabin, though some also point out that certain rivals feel more luxurious in terms of richness and flair. The SQ5 builds on that same cabin but adds a sportier personality. You get more aggressive seats, sportier trim, more performance-oriented detailing, and an overall sense that this is the driver's version of the Q5. It's still refined and premium, but there's a little more excitement built into the experience. You don't just sit in it, you feel like you're stepping into something that's ready to move. The CLA's interior, meanwhile, is pure Mercedes drama. It's one of the flashiest cabins in this class. The ambient lighting, turbine-style air vents, glossy surfaces, and futuristic screen setup make it feel like a mini luxury nightclub on wheels. If you love interiors that wow you at night and impress passengers instantly, the CLA is incredibly effective. Mercedes understands that many buyers in this segment are emotional buyers, and the CLA plays directly into that. It looks expensive from the driver's seat, and for many people that matters just as much as cargo room or rear seat space. But here's where practicality starts separating these cars in a major way. The Audi Q5 and SQ5 are compact luxury SUVs, and that immediately gives them a huge advantage in day-to-day usefulness. You sit higher, you get easier entry and exit, better visibility, more cargo flexibility, and more family-friendly packaging. The Q5 in particular is one of those vehicles that just fits into real life very easily. Whether you're doing grocery runs, school pickups, road trips, or daily commuting, it feels like it was designed to make life simpler without sacrificing luxury. The latest Q5 offers roughly 27.6 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats and about 56.9 cubic feet with the seats folded, which makes it genuinely useful for family duty and travel. The SQ5 keeps nearly all of that practicality, which is what makes it so appealing. It's one of those rare vehicles that can haul luggage, carry passengers comfortably, and still embarrass slower sports sedans at a traffic light. That's a very compelling combination. The CLA, by contrast, sacrifices some practicality for style. Its low roofline and sedan proportions mean rear seat space is tighter. Headroom is more limited and overall flexibility is nowhere near what the Audi SUVs provide. That doesn't make it a bad choice, far from it, but it does mean it suits a different kind of life. If you're mostly driving solo with a partner or occasionally carrying friends, the CLA works fine. But if you need real family utility or you regularly haul gear, the Q5 and SQ5 are clearly more versatile. Now let's talk performance, because this is where these three really spread out into different lanes. The standard Audi Q5 is powered by a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder making about 268 horsepower, and it comes with all-wheel drive. It's not a hardcore performance machine, but it is quick, smooth, and more than capable for everyday driving. Independent testing has put the Q5 at around 5.8 to 6.3 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which is absolutely respectable for a luxury compact SUV. More importantly, it delivers its performance in a refined, polished way. It doesn't feel frantic or aggressive, it feels confident. The SQ5, however, is where things get seriously fun. It uses a turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 with around 362 horsepower and 406 pounds-ft of torque, paired with standard quattro all-wheel drive and a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. That setup gives it genuinely impressive pace, with 0 to 60 miles per hour arriving in around 4.3 seconds according to testing. That's not quick for an SUV. That's just properly fast, period. The beauty of the SQ5 is that it doesn't just go fast in a straight line. It also feels composed, planted, and polished at speed while still maintaining enough ride comfort to make it easy to live with every day. Reviewers consistently describe it as more of a luxury performance SUV than a razor-sharp sports machine, which honestly is exactly why so many people will love it. The Mercedes-Benz CLA takes a different approach. In standard CLA form, it's powered by a mild hybrid 2.0-liter four-cylinder making about 221 horsepower and 258 pounds-ft of torque, with front-wheel drive standard and all-wheel drive available. That means it's brisk rather than explosive. Car and Driver has set it as 0 to 60 miles per hour time of about 5.6 seconds for the CLA 250-4MATIC, which is actually quite respectable and enough to make it feel lively in real-world driving. It's not as powerful or commanding as the SQ5, but it doesn't need to be. The CLA is more about smooth, stylish momentum than brute force. It's nimble, polished, and city-friendly. In terms of driving feel, each one has its own flavor. The Audi Q5 is balanced and composed. It's comfortable, predictable, and confidence-inspiring. It doesn't beg to be driven aggressively, but it feels secure and premium at all times. It's the kind of vehicle that makes long drives easy and daily commuting stress-free. The SQ5 adds excitement without becoming exhausting. You can push it harder, enjoy the acceleration more, and feel more engagement, but it still behaves like a mature luxury vehicle when you want it to. That's its superpower. The CLA, on the other hand, feels lower, lighter, and more intimate. Because it sits closer to the road, it naturally gives a sportier sensation even if it's not the fastest car here. For many people, that connected feeling is a huge part of the appeal. Fuel economy is another important factor, and unsurprisingly, the less powerful models do better here. The Audi Q5 is estimated at around 22 mpg city and 30 mpg highway, which is decent for a premium compact SUV with all-wheel drive. The SQ5, thanks to its powerful V6, drops to around 19 mpg city and 26 mpg highway, which is still acceptable considering the performance on offer. The CLA, with its smaller mild hybrid powertrain, is generally positioned as the more efficient and urban-friendly option in this trio, especially for buyers who care about lower fuel costs and a lighter driving footprint. Technology is strong across all three, but the presentation differs. Audi's system feels clean, modern, and highly digital with large displays and a premium interface. The Q5 and SQ5 now lean heavily into screen-based controls, advanced infotainment, and connected features, with available passenger displays and premium audio and upper trims. Mercedes counters with its signature tech theater, the CLA's digital display layout, ambient lighting, and slick visual presentation are a major part of its appeal. Audi's approach feels more executive and precise. Mercedes feels more emotional and theatrical. One is a tailored suit. The other is designer fashion. When it comes to ride quality, the Q5 is arguably the easiest vehicle here to recommend to the broadest number of people. It's comfortable, stable, and polished. It's built to handle daily life gracefully. The SQ5 remains surprisingly civilized even though it's much faster, especially with adaptive or air suspension setups. It's sporty but not punishing. The CLA offers a firmer, more sedan-like feel, and while that can make it more engaging, it also means it won't absorb rough roads with the same relaxed confidence as the Audi SUVs. If your roads are broken, busy, or unpredictable, the Q5 and SQ5 are likely to feel more forgiving over time. Now let's get to the emotional part of this comparison: ownership identity. Because luxury cars are never just about numbers, they're about how they make you feel. The Audi Q5 says you value quality, intelligence, balance, and everyday excellence. It's not flashy for the sake of being flashy. It's a grown-up luxury vehicle for someone who wants to make a smart premium purchase. The Audi Q5 says you want all of that, but you also refuse to be bored. You want the same practicality and polish, but you also want to enjoy your morning commute a little too much. It's for someone who still has a bit of a performance car soul, even if life now requires rear seats and cargo space. The Mercedes-Benz CLA says style matters, presence matters, design matters. It's for someone who wants a luxury car that feels fashionable, modern, and youthful every time they look back at it after parking. So which one should you buy? If you want the best all-round package for most people, the Audi Q5 is the winner. It offers luxury, technology, practicality, comfort, respectable performance, and premium image in one very well-rounded package. It's the safe choice, but in this case, safe is not boring. It's smart. If you want the most exciting and satisfying vehicle in this comparison, the Audi SQ5 is the winner. It gives you nearly everything the Q5 does, but with far more power, stronger acceleration, and a more emotional driving experience. Yes, it costs more and uses more fuel, but if driving pleasure matters to you, it's absolutely the standout. And if you want the most stylish and visually dramatic choice, the Mercedes-Benz CLA is the winner. It may not be as practical as the Audi SUVs, and it may not be as fast as the SQ5, but it has a personality all its own. It's sleek, premium, and designed to make every drive feel a little more glamorous. At the end of the day, this isn't really a battle of good versus bad. It's a battle of priorities. The Q5 is the intelligent luxury SUV. The SQ5 is the luxury SUV with attitude. The CLA is the fashion-forward luxury sedan. 3 German badges. 3 different lifestyles. 3 different ways to spend your money. And honestly, that's what makes this comparison so fun, because no matter which one you choose, you're not just buying transportation. You're buying a statement about who you are and what you want from your daily drive.